Hey everybody, it's time for t-shirt on the dude. T-shirt on the listen, I can't. My brain, I can't process what the hell I just watched on Empire. All I know is that this season, the final season, is gonna give me anxiety. I'ma have all kinds of heart palpitations, just goddamn you, Lee Daniels, and your plot twists. Okay, let's just get into it. All right, okay. T-shirt on the tube, all of that. All right. So, you know, just like the past couple of seasons, Empire starts off with a certain event that happens months prior. So it opens with Lucius standing, I guess, in his office and somebody shoots him to death. We don't know who the shooter is. That won't be revealed until the final episode. Now we get to Cookie, present day, and Cookie is now on a talk show called Tea Talk, and one of the co-hosts is making fun of Cookie about her relationship, well, her prison sentence and all this other stuff, and then they're asking her how it is working with family and whatnot. So pretty much the women on the show are gunning for her. So it goes to Andre, and he's directing a film based on the Lucius biopic or whatever, and he has somebody there. Um, he has somebody there that's playing Lucius, and he's doing with the DJ Spin song, and he feels like it's not enough passion. He feels like the person that's playing Lucius does not. He's like, he goes to him and he talks to him. He's like, you need to feel it. My father, he felt this is his first performance, and he felt the music. He lived, breathed, slept it. You need to feel it, and you need to show that you're feeling it. So when they do the second take, the second take is better than the first. So now we get back to Cookie, and she's done with Tea Talk, and she's speaking to, I guess, her agent, and Cookie is like, I go to prison, I shank that bitch. I did 17 years, I shanked that hoe, whatever. So they're like, her agent is like, well, this is your trial run. I think that was her agent. I don't know. Y'all could correct me. But she's like, this is a trial run for you, but they're thinking about making you a permanent co-host as long as you're not affiliated with Lucius and Empire. And Cookie still hasn't announced to everybody that she's not a part of Empire and that she's no longer that she even left Lucius. So she's telling her, it would be smart for you to announce it so that this doesn't mess up your coin or whatever. So Cookie does not want to air out her business or whatever with Lucius just yet. She's not ready. But she does know that she's like out of Empire's affairs and she's doing something for her. So we get to Andre, and he's in the office, and the FBI visits because they're looking for Lucius because he's wanted for money laundering. So they said that they'll release the story that Lucius is a wanted man or whatever, and Andre is saying that they won't drop the story because Lucius will come forward and prove that he's innocent or whatever. So, but they're like, well, we could also drop the story and say that he's wanted, and you lose all of your investments, you lose everything. So, decision to make. Now we get to a dive bar where a young lady is singing. She has faux locks, pretty girl. She's singing in a dive bar. And we see somebody with a dusty ass mop on their head and sunglasses. Who is that, you may ask? None other than Lucius Lyon himself, looking like a fake bumper clot. Okay? I don't know what Tyler Perry dressing room he got this wig from, but they need to give it back. But then again, isn't Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry friends? I don't know, but whoever, that wig was terrible. Y'all could have gave Terrence Howard some faux locks. Y'all could have did something. That wig was terrible, okay? That was a terrible wig. It looked like a daggone mop sitting on his head. He looked stupid. Stupid as hell. So he's in a dive bar hearing the girls sing or whatever. And then he goes to the back with her. Clearly that's his new little thing, you know, his new boo-boo kitty. So they're making out and whatnot in the back. So now we get back to Cookie, Andre, and Terry, and you know, Cookie is making Terry this healthy mix of crap. But she's like, you know, it's healthy for the baby, drink it for the baby, blah blah blah. And Terry is like, this is nasty. She's like, yeah, but you know, it's protein and stuff for the baby. You need it for the baby. So Andre comes and Cookie is just telling him that she's against the movie. She doesn't care for the movie or whatever. And, you know, Andre is like, well, this is for Empire. You know, you shouldn't involve yourself in Empire stuff because you left Empire or whatever. And she's like, you know, I'm just adding my 2 cents, but I won't, you know, I won't say much or whatever. Just the movie is stupid, in my opinion. So now we get to Becky and Cookie having like a little slumber party, and they briefly discuss Jamal. Sidebar, I am still pissed off at Jussie Smollett for the fact that he's not going to be on this season, and he did it to himself, and it sucks. I am very upset with you, Jussie Smollett, because you were my favorite on this show. You and your sister. Awesome actors. Well, his sister wasn't never on the show, but I'm just saying his sister in general, she's an awesome actress. So for him to blacklist himself the way that he did, I'm just, that's neither here nor there. But that's like pretty much the only time they bring up Jamal, saying that Jamal is in London and they miss him and blah blah blah. So Giselle and Becky are trying to work on finding a female client or whatever for their new label, and she pretty much, like, you know, picks Cookie's brain for like advice as far as like the new label and whatnot. You know, Cookie is like, you can't, pretty much just telling her, you gotta make sure it's like legit. You can't just go around signing artists. You're a small label, you know. That's something you have to be, pretty much, you have to use good judgment when signing artists or whatever. So, you know, Becky is like, you know, that bug is still in you. You still got that bug in you, you know. This is what you should be doing. And Cookie's like, no, I need something new for me. I need something for Cookie. You know, I got the Empire Community Center. You know, this is my time or whatever. So they were sitting there eating ice cream and chips, which, weird. I've never had that, but, you know, I heard it's a thing. So, you like it, I love it. So Becky is like, you miss Lucius. And she's like, no, I don't. She's like, yeah, you do. You miss him because Lucius used to do this, the ice cream and the chips or whatever. So she's like, go ahead, Becky, shut up, or I'm going to kick you out or whatever. So now we get to Giselle and Becky at Bossy Media, which is their new record label or whatever. And they had an artist there, but she said that she won't sign because they're a small label. So they're like, okay, so pretty much we're back to square one or whatever. So Andre has somebody named Mouse trying to get into Empire, but they wouldn't let him up because I guess he wasn't on the list or whatever. But Andre knows Mouse from prison. So Mouse is out of prison. He's now looking for a job, and he goes to Andre for help. So he tells Andre he wants to work for Empire, and Andre is like, well, you know, I could look into it and see if you could get a meeting with HR. And he's like, you know, why don't you do me a favor? You the big CEO or whatever. And he's like, listen, it's still a process whether I do you the favor or not, you know. He's like, well, you should do me this favor since you owe me. And Andre is like, well, give me a couple of days and I'll see what I can do. But it's a process. So he's like, all right. So now they're having like a board meeting. And, you know, Andre says that there's big announcements that Charlie Dupree will be Lucius in the biopic. And that they have like the basketball thing coming up. I think it was like a basketball, did I write it down? Tournament. Fox basketball. I forgot the name. So Fox basketball. And then in this moment, White Tracy walks in and announces that she is the new co-owner of Empire. Which we already knew because last season how it left off after, what's his name, Jeff or Joe? Kingsley. After he killed himself, she allowed Cookie to take Kingsley's heart and put it in Andre. So, because she did that favor for Cookie, Cookie gave her part ownership of Empire before she left. So, No surprise there. So now we get to Andre and Tracy, and she tells him that, I have shares in Empire because, I gave you Kingsley's heart or whatever. So she's like, and he's like, well, what do you really want with Empire? Why do you care about Empire so much? She's like, I need a little fun in my life. Plus, I miss my son. I want to be close to him. Could I hear his heartbeat? So she went up to him and started listening to his heartbeat, and she's like, I miss him so much. And I'm like, y'all had the weirdest of weird relationships, because you really made that boy hate Lucius for something Lucius didn't even know he did. But I digress. So we get to Cookie, Terry, and Hakeem, and they're having dinner. And Andre is upset with Cookie because she didn't tell him that Tracy was now co-owner of Empire. And she's like, I would have done anything. I would have gave her anything to keep you alive. So you should be grateful. And Terry is like, yeah, you really should be grateful. She did that to save your life, and that's way more important than Empire. So Hakeem is like, listen, seeing as, like we talking about the biopic, why don't I play Lucius? And Andre is like, well, we already have somebody playing Lucius. Charlie Dupree is playing Lucius. In walks Maya with news saying that the feds have announced that Lucius is a wanted man. No sooner did that announcement come to be, he gets a phone call saying Charlie Dupree is pulling out, investors are pulling out, Fox Basketball might not want anything to do with them. So, perfect opportunity for Hakeem to play his father. So, yeah, we get to Andre and Cookie, and they're at his checkup or whatever. Lucius arrives looking like Jesus himself. And he walks in, and Andre's like, did anybody see you? He's like, no, I made a I'm like, this Negro has this mop on his head, and he has on all white. How did nobody see this Negro? But okay, whatever. This is TV. So Andre is like, listen, we need to find a solution for this situation to get the feds off of Dad, and we need to find a way to get Damon Cross locked up so that could prove Dad's innocence or whatever. So Andre wants them to come together and work together to try and fix the situation. They're arguing back and forth. He blames her for messing with Damon, and she's like, I didn't get what I needed from you. And he's like, you didn't sleep with Damon because you can't cheat or whatever. You can't cheat because there's nobody else in here that would do anything for you like I do. And she's like, all you do is lie to me. All you do is give me false promises. All you do is make me miserable. You're malicious. You're selfish. Blah, blah, blah. So he's like, well, after I finish, after this is all over with, I'm gonna go be with my new girl. And she's like, oh yeah, your new bitch. And he was like, yeah, I'm over you, Cookie. She was like, no matter how many new bitches you get, no matter how many wigs, sunglasses, anything you wear, you will never be over Cookie. I was like, that's the truth though. It's the truth. And we don't even know the girl name, so I've been calling her new bitch the whole episode. Because every time Cookie gives a person a nickname, it sticks. Like, we stopped calling Anika seasons ago. She was Boo Boo Kitty since like episode 2. We never called her Anika. She was always Boo Boo Kitty. So every time Cookie gives a chick a nickname, that's their name. So this is new bitch. Even when I find out what her name is, her name gonna be new bitch. So now we get to Giselle and Becky, and Becky sees new talent, I think on YouTube, and she signed the girl without Giselle. Giselle is like, how could you possibly do that when we haven't had a meeting with her? She's like, well, it doesn't matter. She's flying out soon or whatever, and we're going to meet with her. I had a Digi meeting with her, and it went well, so she's flying out to come and see us soon. So Giselle is like, all right, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt and see how it goes. We get to Andre and Lucius, and Andre doesn't want to, which is this is his goal since ever. He doesn't want to let Lucius down. And Andre just feels like he's overwhelmed because so many people are after Empire. And, Lucius is telling him, well, that's the nature of the kingdom. And as a prince, I raised you to be a prince. And as a prince, you don't have any real power until you're a king. And a king has to defend his kingdom at no cost. So you got to do what you got to do as far as saving Empire. So we get to Andre, and he's in a meeting with Fox, and Fox is like, they won't represent Empire because of the news with Lucius. And Andre is like, listen, if my dad is guilty, I will turn him in myself or whatever to save face for Empire. But if he's not guilty, then either way we win or whatever. I just want to prove to you guys that this is false, and I just want you to prove that you're making a good investment. So Andre gets home, and Terry and Mouse are in the living room. So Mouse came over without Andre knowing. Terry leaves the room, so Andre says to him, don't come to my house without permission. And he's like, well, I'm still waiting, I'm waiting for you to hook me up with a job. And Andre's like, listen, I don't have anything for you yet. I told you it's a process. You have to wait. Now leave. So Mouse leaves, and he looks around, and he's like, nice home, nice family, and then walks away. I'm like, this dude gonna be malicious as hell until he gets what he wants from Andre. So now we get back to Tea Talk, and they're discussing the stuff with like men and how women defend men and how men should be blamed for everything that's going on with women. And they brought up Lucius and Cookie, and Lucius and Cookie is like, why is it that every time we have to sit up here and we have to take the blame for the stuff that men do or whatever? And they're like, well, why are you defending Lucius? And she's like, I'm not defending him. The fact of the matter is that whatever he has going on has nothing or is not a reflection of me. He's his own person. So while they were talking, Cookie, of course, blacked on the girl and was like, listen, your mind was blown when you was snorting them lines in the green room. So, the lady is like, well, I feel attacked. And she's like, oh, you feel attacked? Well, why is it that when black women defend themselves, we're hostile and we're attacking you, but when white women do it, it's strength, it's this, it's that? Like, why is that? So then Cookie finally announces that she's not she left Lucius, and she knows that leaving Lucius in Empire is the hardest thing that she's had to do, but it's something that she had to do for her sanity and for her to gain her independence. So now we get to Lucius and New Bitch. And they're in the house together, and he's like, I want you to know the real me and who I really am. And she's like, I know who you are. You're Lucius Lyon. And he's like, oh, so you knew? She said, I knew the whole entire time. So he's like, listen, well, I'm on the run, and me being on the run, I need money and blah, blah, blah. She's like, I can get you money. And he's like, how? She's like, my father is super, super rich, and he'll pay for whatever I ask him to pay for. We don't really talk, but he'll pay for it. And he's like, listen, well, I need to clear my name. I need to figure something out, and that requires money. So she's like, I don't care about you being on the run. I don't care what you got going on. I want to help you. So, okay, New Bitch, kudos to you. So now we get to Giselle and Becky with the artist, and this chick is weird. She gets into the meeting, she's like, I don't sing. I usually sing in the dark, and I don't have people watching me. And Becky is like, but a part of you being a singer is that people will be watching you. 1, 2, you're a YouTube sensation with 4 million views, 4 million followers. How, Sway? So to appease her, they made the room dark and they turned their backs, and she's sitting up there quiet as a church mouse singing. Giselle is pissed because Giselle is like, I told you so. So she's like, well, I only sing in my bedroom. And she's like, but that's not what's in the contract. What's in the contract is that you're a singer. That means you're used to singing in front of people. Like, what the what? I'm like, child, this is why Giselle got on you like she did. So now we get to Terry and Andre, and he's worried about announcing the Empire film since he no longer has a Lucius, and he's just overwhelmed. And Terry is like, we should pray. And he's like, I forgot how to pray. Listen, God turned his back on me. I turned my back on him. It is what it is. And Terry is like, God is the one that saved your life. He's like, I forgot how to pray or whatever. So he's like, he come up with the idea to do like a talent search that he'll announce at the Fox basketball game or whatever. So now we get to the Fox basketball thing. Tiana, Devon, Treasure, and Hakeem are performing, which I think is dope. And you know, Mouse comes to the show. He's sitting in the audience with his popcorn. So Andre is pretty much announcing the Empire biopic. Before he could finish announcing it, Hakeem come out and is like, I'll be playing Lucius. So he did that without discussing it with Andre. So you know, Andre is pissed, of course. And Andre's pissed, of course, and he's like, listen, I want your support just like I'm supporting you being CEO of Empire. Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked me how I felt about it. So Andre's like, all right, we'll see. So now we get back to Lucius and New Bitch. And when I tell you, because this is my notebook, I wrote all the notes in. When I tell you, when I found out who New Bitch was related to, I dropped my pen and my book, okay? So she's on the phone calling her father. Her father is none other than Damon Cross himself, okay? Empire and a friggin' plot twist, oh my god. So she's calling him to ask for money. Lucius doesn't even know that her father is Damon Cross. At this point, he doesn't know. So after Damon Cross hangs up with New Bitch, his daughter, he gets a knock at the door. So he's grabbing a weapon from the kitchen. He goes to the door, opens the door. None other than Cookie at the friggin' door talking about, you owe me, bitch. I'm like, oh my god. All of this is just happening full circle. Like, I can't. So now we get to Andre leaving. He's leaving the Fox basketball game to go home to Terry, and Terry's at home by herself saying that she's on the phone with someone. I don't know who exactly, but she's letting them know, I'm going to bed, I'm tired, blah, blah, blah. So while she's at home, from what it looks like, her water is breaking. Mouse and Andre are in the parking lot, and Mouse is upset because he's like, yo, where's my gig? What are you doing? Like, I'm waiting for my job and you're dragging your feet. And he's like, how would you like it, since you want to take so long to get me a job, how would you like it if everybody found out that I killed for you in prison? That would mess up your gig. And he's like, listen, jobs just don't come around like that. You have to give it time. Or he's like, I've been giving it time. I'm running out of patience or whatever. So he pulls out a knife and is like, what if I carve you up? Or what if I go and attack your wife? They start brawling in the parking lot. While they brawling, Terry is in the house looking like her water is breaking and she's alone. So I guess Andre, from what it looked like, he choked Mouse to death, knocked him unconscious, something, I don't know. And then it pretty much ended with Terry laying there in a pool of blood. Child, if she loses that baby, that's gonna make Andre snap, because that would be the second baby that he has lost. Because remember, Rhonda was pregnant with his baby, and she lost the baby and he lost Rhonda. Oh my god, this episode gave me anxiety. And then I was looking at the trailer for the season, bruh, they're bringing back Frida Gatz, and she might quite possibly be the person that shoots Lucius. And just, y'all let me know how y'all felt about this episode, because when I tell you my anxiety, child, it was a good season premiere. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about Tisha on the tube. Tisha on the tube. Tisha on the tube. Tisha on the tube. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a blessed night.